guys, I'm Abby the seamstress. Welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be showing y'all how to drape a bodice on a dress form. So let's get started. So you're going to want to start with some muslin or similar cheap fabric. Be sure to rip it instead of cutting it so you look super cool while doing it. Next, I am pinning the fabric to the sides and top of the dress form. This is just where the seams will be, so naturally it's going to want to be where you pin it, just to make sure that the fabric hangs correctly while you're. Now I typically do my necklines first. I feel like it just helps me get a good idea of how I want to drape the rest of the bodice. So for this look, I wanted to do a deep V-neck with 2 darts at the bust. So I'm drawing on the neckline first and then going with scissors and cutting it the rest of the way, making adjustments as needed. I'm also adding a line down the middle. This just ensures that whenever I'm draping, everything is even and that I'm not going to have something totally skewed to one side, and that everything is centered and even. Next, I'm going to move on to cutting the armholes, and honestly, the easiest way to do this if you've never done it before is going and grabbing either a dress or a tank top or something similar and looking at how the armholes for that are cut, and then just copying that onto your dress form. So here was where my phone cut off to tell me that my phone storage was full and so stopped recording. But since I was recording, I didn't look at my phone screen until I was already done. So let me just walk you through what I did verbally. So see the darts, what I'm holding right now, you're just going to want to pinch the fabric and then pin it against the bodice until you have these nice clean darts like I have right there, and then mark those darts with a Sharpie so that the fabric lines up cleanly against the bodice and there isn't any excess fabric. Have the darts actually done and off the bodice, you're going to pin them, and then those lines that you marked earlier, you're just going to sew along those lines using a basting stitch, which is just an extra long stitch as I discussed in my last video. So once you have that finished on both sides, what you're going to want to do is take that off, make sure it actually fits you instead of the dress form, just to make sure you actually did all the darts and everything right, make any adjustments as needed. And then what you're going to want to do is take that little excess fabric and you're going to want to cut it off with scissors. I use pinking shears here, and iron it out. Once again, make sure it fits. And then what you're going to do is something a little bit different. You're going to seam rip along those edges, as you can see here, unfold it, iron it again, and then this will be your pattern for whatever you want to make next. So here is my pattern after I traced it onto paper, and the really neat thing about this is you don't have to worry about adding seam allowances because since you already sewed it and made sure it fits, those seam allowances are already included into your pattern, and so you can just start sewing that bad boy directly. So I hope y'all guys enjoyed this video, and happy sewing!